Hello, I'm Aaron Marino from Alpha M Consulting, and I love wearing suits. There is nothing that makes me feel more confident, sexier. Other than my Christmas thong, it was a gift, and yes it is velvet, than a great fitting suit. And when you think about it, a man's suit is like the modern day equivalent of a suit of armor.
Hello, milady.
And as with armor, the man wearing a great fitting suit has the same don't F with me attitude because I am indeed the man, and I've got panache. Quick little side note, the Alpha M make you sound 15% smarter than you actually are. Word of the day is panache. Panache is a noun and it means dashing manner, style, or swagger. So let's all agree, shall we, to stop using the word swagger or swag. It was fun for like 10 seconds, like 10 minutes ago. It's not anymore. Try replacing it and saying the word panache. It's fun. It rolls off your tongue. Panache. Did I just do jazz hands? Whoever said you can't tell a good suit from a bad suit obviously did not watch this video, because today we're talking about how to make sure that the suit that you buy looks expensive even if it's not. So as you may or may not know, the price of a man's suit is all over the board. You can get a suit for $100, you can get a suit for $5,000, and everywhere in between. So the question is, can you actually see a visible difference from the suit you picked up for $100 versus $2,000? You bet your fancy pants you can. And I would assume that the majority of us just aren't going to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a new custom suit. But I've got a few savvy little tips today we're going to go over. Some of the details that you're going to find in the higher end suits that you can actually create and duplicate on your less expensive suit so that your suit looks and feels more luxurious than it may actually be. The first thing we're going to discuss today is going to be your suit's fabric, because the fabric is the first thing that somebody sees when they see you wearing that dashing new suit. Fabric is ultimately going to determine how well that suit wears and performs in the long run. The only fabric we're going to discuss here today is the only one that I want you investing in, and that is 100% wool made from these guys. The reason is because synthetic suits, yes, they make them. Are they cheaper? Yes. Are they going to stand up and wear as well as 100% wool suits? Absolutely not. Are they going to be wearable and function as well years in the future? Absolutely not. So 100% wool suits are the only fabric suits that I want you to buy. But it doesn't just stop at wool. There are different rating systems, if you will, of the higher end wool. So you've got 100% wool, but you also have a super rating, super duper, and the way that that works is you've got super 100, super 120, super 150, all the way up to super 250. Think of it as thread counts of sheets. The higher the thread count, the softer and more luxurious the sheets are going to feel. Same thing with the super rating. The higher up you get, the thinner that thread is actually going to be and the more luxurious that suit is going to feel. The higher the thread count also, or the higher the super rating, the shinier that suit is going to be. But let me tell you something. The higher up you get, the more expensive you get. You're better off getting, if you're going to go with a super, just get a super 100 or super 150. But most of the time, you're just going to say, hey, is it 100% wool? Yes. Feel it? Does it feel good? Does it look good? Does it feel like butter in your hands? Then get it, baby. It's perfectly fine. Next, we're going to talk about your suit jacket's chest piece. Every jacket has a thin layer of canvas between the outer and the inner layer of the jacket. And it's this canvas that is actually giving your jacket a lot of its shape. Now, we probably don't need to even talk about it because most suit companies and places you go to buy suits pre-shrink their canvas, but on occasion, you can find some pretty cheap suits that actually don't pre-shrink this. It's made of cotton. So if you take a jacket that has a unpre-shrunk chest piece to the dry cleaner, you're actually going to have a bunch of puckers and wrinkles because all the steam, all the heat, all the humidity of dry cleaning shrinks it. But like I said, most of the time you don't even have to worry about that. But we need to stay with the chest piece topic, because another thing that distinguishes between a high quality and a low quality suit is whether or not this chest piece is fused or sewn in. What they do is actually, some companies will actually glue this chest piece to the outer and inner fabric. And that's not really a great thing. The reason, you take it to that dry cleaner and over time that glue melts and that chest piece can shift. And that shifting actually distorts the fit and the look of your jacket. It doesn't wear as well. But you want to look for a jacket that actually has this chest piece sewn into place. And there is a real easy way to actually tell whether or not that jacket is fused or sewn in. Here's how you tell. The simple test to determine whether or not that canvas is sewn or fused is just by going to the pocket right above the pocket and pinch. Try and separate the thin wool fabric from the thicker canvas below. If it separates easy, that means that it's hand sewn in and it's higher quality. If when you do that, you can't separate it, that means that it is fused, glued, and you probably want to stay away from it. Alright, so that's some of the technical stuff that we're going to talk about. Now we're going to talk about some other aspects and details about a suit that you can opt for in order to make sure that your suit looks expensive even if it's not. The first one is the vents. What you should look for is a suit that has double or side vents. And basically it looks like a butt flap. Now I don't know if that's the technical word. I don't think it actually is, but it should be. Here's what the side vents look like. Wait a second. Before we move on, there's one other thing that I need to talk about in regards to vents. When you buy a suit or when it is shipped to you, there is going to be a white stitched X at the bottom of each vent. Now, what you need to do is simply cut that and pull it out. Or get a string ripper or whatever and get rid of that string. Do not wear your suit jacket with that vent still stitched together. I see it all the time and I cringe in embarrassment. I'm like, oh dude. I actually will go up to people and be like, yo, hi, you don't know me, but that little X needs to come out. It's supposed to. Anyway, get rid of the X. It's not supposed to be there. The next thing you're going to want to consider when separating a high-end versus a low-end suit is going to be the details, like stitching. In a higher-end suit, you're actually going to see stitching along the perimeters of the lapel and down along the front of the jacket. It looks like this. Alright, can you see it? That subtle little stitch along the edge of the lapel. Well, it's this hand stitching that actually separates the higher end from the lower end suits. But the great news, if you go to a company like Modern Tailor, you can simply add that in for like $10. So it's a cheap way to increase the luxury level look and feel of the suit that you're actually buying. Another detail that you're going to find with the higher end suits are going to be functioning buttonholes. You didn't think these things ever button, did you? Well, they do, or you can design them to. And when you do that, what I want you to do is actually leave that bottom button unbuttoned. That shows that, hey, I got a suit and it has sleeves that actually function and button, as opposed to yours that are sewn on and don't work and are just for show. And last, but should have been first, is a suit's fit. The fit is the most important and crucial aspect to the suit that you're buying and wearing. Give you an example. You can take a $100 suit. The construction isn't that great, the fabric isn't that great, but it's tailored well. I would take that 9 days out of 7 over a suit that's $2,000 that isn't fitted properly and that's too big. The point is that you need whatever you're wearing to fit you perfectly. Spend the money on getting a suit custom tailored regardless of the price that you actually paid for the suit. And here's an example of me wearing two different size suits. The suit on the left, big baggy, does not fit. The suit on the right is 100% sexy. And once again, me on the left, miserable. Me on the right, sassy. In conclusion, gentlemen, times are tough, but that doesn't mean that every man doesn't need a great fitting suit in his wardrobe or his style arsenal. Now, do you need to spend thousands of dollars to have a great suit? Absolutely not. That's absurd. Can I tell the difference between a $100 suit and a $5,000 suit? Yeah. Can I tell the difference between a $250 suit and a $500 suit? Probably not. What about $500 and $1,000? Maybe. Probably not. The bottom line is that subtle, simple details of the suit is really what's going to distinguish the luxury look and feel of that suit. And you can go to a place like Modern Tailor, who actually is having a sale and a little deal right now that we'll talk about after this video, and create a suit that has the feel and look of super luxury, even though you're spending just a few $100s on it. Gentlemen, it comes down to tailoring. But there is no better feeling than putting on that great fitting suit, walking out to that wedding, funeral, or wherever you're going, because at some point you're going to need one of those. Because somebody's going to die, somebody's going to get married, and you need to look the best you possibly can. Gentlemen, it has been a true pleasure, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, so here's how this video actually came to be. I went on and actually ordered this suit from Modern Tailor, and I really paid attention to the tailoring. I took my old suit, measured it down. I wanted a suit that was tailored within an inch of my life, and this, my friends, this suit is. But here's the deal. I got it. I was like, man, it's great. And so I went to Modern Tailor and I said, hey, I want to do a video on high-end aspects of suits. what about doing some sort of deal? And they said, well, we'll do this. So there's a link below. If you want a new suit, or it's time for a new suit, or you're just going to buy a new suit because you like suits, there's a link below. You go to that link and actually design your suit. Once you're done, enter Alpha M in the checkout. It's going to give you 10% off of every $100 that you spend. So if the suit's $200, you get $20 off. If the suit's $300, you get $30 off. You get it, right? Not that complicated. But here's where the deal comes in. Once you check out, you're actually going to receive a code for a $50 voucher towards a custom dress shirt. I mean, how great is that? You can go on and design a shirt for 50 bucks. It's free. So you get a discount on a suit. You get a free shirt-ish, unless you pick a high-end fabric, and then it's not going to be free, but it's going to be $50 off, and everybody's winning. So anyway, gentlemen, go to the link below, check it out. Also, there's another link below to my website. Lots of new product services and digital downloads available as of like today or tomorrow or something. I've got them working on. Anyway, guys, it has been a pleasure. In 2 weeks, we're talking and tackling a subject that I've had a lot of questions about, and it is what to wear to a club, what to wear to a bar, what to wear to a disco, because apparently they still call that places like clubs and stuff discos in other far-off lands. So anyway, gentlemen, until next time, I want you looking smooth and fresh. And remember, panache, it's a great word. Try it.